3 worlds! Burn rubber for racing fame! Then join the Dirapur Grand Prix, and this could be you! Not him! Her! Take a chance for fantastic glory and incredible riches! Like the Aetherdrift, this year's legendary prize. It's worth the risk, we promise.
Feeling brave? Brave enough to... Sorry, I thought it was the Dragon Strike DM again because I'm a floating head, but I have arms, so I'm definitely not. Anyway, we're doing the Aetherdrift Mechanics. We're not talking about Dragon Strike, although you should watch that video. I'll put it in the description. Four primary mechanics. Okay, so every MTG set is based around different mechanics and how they interact, right? So every set is different, and there's what, over, I think, 250 now or something like that? Maybe not that many, but anyway. You will likely have more than just one mechanic at work in a deck you draft. Alright, so there are 4 primary mechanics in just about every set. I think some sets have arguably more, but they're similar mechanics. So yeah, like can't remember. Yeah, Khans of Tarkir had the different like special keywords for different clans, and that was kind of one mechanic, even though there are a bunch of different keywords. But yeah, anyway. Each set is usually based around 4 mechanics to give this a central theme and make it draftable. So yeah, if there's a whole bunch more mechanics, you couldn't really draft it, right? You'd probably have to open like an insane number of packs just to be able to get enough of cards to like put one thing together to actually have it built around one mechanic. So yeah, and if you have too few mechanics, you don't really have options. You kind of have to just build this 1 or 2 different things. So yeah, this is a way to kind of balance out those Aetherdrift mechanics. Alright, first of all, speed, start your engines, as I said, exhaust, and vehicle / saddle. Cycling, always a welcome addition, cycling. Number 1, again, speed. So, speed is the main mechanic in Aetherdrift, being all about racing. So this is made with this set in mind. Basically how it works is you have a rating of 0, really. You start at 0. If you don't have any speed or you don't have start your engines, you're considered at 0, and then you go up to 4 as your maximum. So yeah. Gaining speed is a trait and immediately takes effect and lasts for the rest of the game. Basically that means that you, people aren't allowed to like interfere with you gaining speed. So if you do something where you gain speed immediately. They can't like counter the spell and stop you from gaining speed or something like that. You know, there's no countering the speed gain ability or start your engine's ability. That doesn't work. So yeah, it is safe from that kind of thing, at least. Yeah. Once you have gained even one speed, you gain the start your engines for the rest of your game. So yeah, start your engines as soon as you have even 1 speed. You get start your engines, and that stays for the rest of the game. So this will allow you to gain 1 speed in your turn by an opponent losing life, only once per turn. So that's something that seemed weird to me, is that like you kind of have to build up the speed over 4 different turns, which is kind of slow. Anyway, max speed. So if you get up to 4, so remember 4 is maximum. So there you can't just keep going. Again, if you have not had to start your engines at all, you're 0. You start at 0, basically. Everyone is at 0 by default. Some cards will read max speed and then have a dash. That means when you get to max speed, when you have 4 speed, you get this special effect. They have an additional effect once the max speed is reached. Again, so here we've got Muraganda Raceway. This for 1 white, and if you have your max speed, is a land also, so that's kind of good. Max speed will tap for 2 colorless. Sorry, not 1 white, 1 colorless. They'll tap for 2 colors. So basically it's a soul land. Which isn't too bad. I wish there was like more ways to interact with speed, but oh well. Other cards may not require you to have max speed, but will provide better bonuses for a higher speed rating. So max speed is the most common probably, but other things will give you bonuses as well. So we got Point the Way here, which is 1 green, and it has the start your engines, meaning you get 1 speed. And you can pay 3 and a green to sacrifice this enchantment and search for X basic lands, put them into the battlefield where X is your speed. So you don't need max speed. It is better with higher speed though. So, is this great? Not really, but it's alright. A lot of people were saying that the set was like super overpowered and like we're doing like that every few sets people do this like Chicken Little thing where they go, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, the sky's falling. It's like, it never is. I don't know. It always seems very overdramatic to me. Like, this is not... Yeah, this isn't something, a mechanic to, like, really upset anything. Number 2. Exhaust. Okay, so is there already an ability referred to as exhaustion? So the creature is exhausted. Yes. So when I saw this, I was very confused because I was like, oh, you're exhausting the creature. No, this is a whole different mechanic, basically with the same name. Do they have some mechanics that are running out of words? No, they're not. I don't know why they did that. Is this just Adapt reskinned? Not exactly. So this is very similar to Adapt Monstrosity, but not quite the same. So, adapt and exhaust keywords that allow you to get a benefit from paying additional costs to activate an ability. Not all the exhaust things actually require that you spend mana or anything. And that's one thing to point out. So, adapt is limited only to adding +1/+1 counters and requires tapping. Usually requires tapping at least. Now that I'm saying it, I'm thinking Outlast. Maybe I was getting confused with Outlast. I think this does not require tapping all the time. But anyway. Adapt may only be used if the creature does not have any +1/+1 counters on it from any source. So they're similar in that you can only do it once, but adapt if you have any +1/+1 counters from anything else even. Like if you have Renata Called to the Hunt on the field, and it comes in and gets a +1/+1 counter, it could not use this adapt automatically. So there's no like short fusing this exhaust is always going to function. Even if it already has like +1/+1 counters or something, even if the exhaust gets some more +1/+1 counters, you can still do it one time. Yeah. Also, it's not limited to +1/+1 counters. So here we've got Void Main and Arcanist. I keep want to say Anarchist, and I know that's wrong, but so 2 and a blue for this 1/1 Human Wizard, and exhaust for 2 blue. A 2 blue ability that will allow you to counter a spell. Basically counter a spell on a creature as an ability, but only one time. That's the sort of limitation. Exhaust can be used only once per object and may require mana or tapping to activate. So it may require mana or tapping. It doesn't have to. So also the main thing about being used once per time per object means that if you flicker it, right? If you take it off the battlefield and put it back down, it's a new object, you could do it again. So this could be like, flicker this and just keep you having counterspell whenever you want. Kind of crazy. Number 3. Vehicle/saddle. So this set contains both vehicles and mounts. Again, vehicles are going to be artifacts, mounts are usually creatures, so that's the kind of the difference right there. This means you get a lot of value out of those little things. So the little 1/1 tokens or even tokens that are bigger can be you can really expand on their kind of power. Also, this is doubly useful because you can just like always have these little guys that are going to make these big activated guys, is the idea. These two mechanics are very similar. They require that you tap a certain amount of attack power of units to either crew for vehicle or saddle for mount. So again, it'll say crew or saddle. Like crew 2, saddle 2. Basically, you need to tap 2 power worth of creature for either. The thing about saddle is they don't work exactly the same. So there are 2 important points to keep in mind. I actually did a video on saddle. I'll see if I can remember to put it in the little link up here. I think it'll be very helpful. Both may be activated by creatures with summoning sickness. So summoning sickness doesn't matter, because they're tapping the creature. It's not the creature tapping, right? So it's okay. Any number of units may be tapped to saddle. So if you want to tap a whole bunch of units, saddle's great for that, because you can tap like your whole board and say, oh, they're all saddling this one thing. Even if it only has saddle 1, you can do everything. It's not limited to 1. You can have more. So yeah, very useful. Last up, number 4. Cycling. I think this is maybe the best fit for like high speed kind of feel is cycling. This is not a new keyword. It was introduced in Urza's Saga back in 1998. Many of you probably were not even existing or something in 1998. So yeah, I remember 1998. I actually was buying Magic cards back then. So yeah. It was kind of nicer, I think. I don't know. Cycling allows you to discard a card with with an additional cost, and they'll let you draw a card, and a lot of times there's another additional effect that you get with that. So it's going to keep cards coming into your hand, and this can be used to like activate other abilities and all kinds of things. It's a mechanic that's been around for 1998. Oh, I don't even want to think about how long ago that was. 26 years this mechanic's been kicking around. So it's got some synergy. If you're looking to draft it, it's a great thing to keep your deck going. If you're looking to build a deck, like a commander deck or something, this is a great thing to have in your deck. So yeah, definitely something to think on there.
Warning, the Gearburg Grand Prix is incredibly dangerous and will likely result in your untimely death. We are not responsible for vehicle sabotage, driver incineration, or decapitation from giant anthropomorphic shark. Drive at your own risk. This message has been paid for by the New Culture Collective.